What's up everyone, and welcome to my review for The Conjuring, a brand new horror film from director James Wan, the guy that started Saw. He did the first one, the really good one, and he did Insidious, which was another really good horror film, and he did do some duds. He did Death Sentence, which was a revenge flick, which I actually really enjoyed, but critics didn't really care for it. And he also did Dead Silence, which was not a good movie. I mean, that was just straight up not. But I was really looking forward to this because Insidious was great. I thought the trailer for this was really good. It was just it was pretty blunt. It was just a scene from the movie. It was scary, and I was hearing all these amazing reviews. I love me a good horror film. I love me a good ghost story. And did I get that from The Conjuring? Well, let's talk about the story. Alright, so the story for The Conjuring is pretty simple, actually. The story follows the Pirins. I think that's how you say their name. I'm not really sure. But anyway, Caroline Pirin, played by Lily Tyler, and Roger Pirin, played by Ron Livingston, who I haven't seen in a very long time. So I'm glad to see him in bigger roles now. And their 5 daughters. They have 5 daughters. That's like 4 too many. Maybe, no, actually 5 too many. Alright, 4 if I'm in a good mood. But they're moving into a brand new farmhouse. They had to move from their old house, which everybody loved, but they had to move from it because they were having money issues or something like that. And this was very cheap, so that pretty much tells you straight off the bat that this is probably haunted. But they go in. It looks nice for the most part. It's an old house. They have a nice lake in the background, a big tree. And, you know, it looks kind of creepy, but not too creepy for you to go, yeah, I'm not living in that house. There's no way. If you had no house, you would live in this house, and you'd probably be fine, unless bad stuff starts happening, which happens with the Pirins. Of course, doors slam shut, people get tugged on, things start out of nowhere dying, birds start hitting the house just out of nowhere, and, you know, just crazy stuff. And of course, they have to get paranormal investigators. And I didn't mention this, but this is actually set in the 1960s, so you didn't have too many paranormal investigators. But the two they get the Warrens, played by Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. Vera Farmiga is a clairvoyant. She can see ghosts and spirits whenever, you know, she can, I guess. I don't know. She didn't really explain that, but I think she's a clairvoyant, right? Is that the right word? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, she can see spirits, and Patrick Wilson is a demonologist, so he knows all about demons and whatever not. So they come in and figure out what's going on, and that's pretty much where the story, you know, goes off to where you would expect it to go. There's a lot of stuff happening, oh, bad things, ooh, people getting possessed maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But that's really the story. It's simple, yes, like I said, but the characters is what really got me into the story. Now, the movie itself says at the beginning, this is a true story. Now, the events you might see in the film, probably not true, but the characters themselves are real. Like, I even looked it up. They are real people. And I love the characters here. I think, first of all, Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are perfect as a husband-wife paranormal investigator duo, and you really do like them. Like, straight off the bat, you really do like them, and you don't want to see anything bad happen to them, which I can't say for a lot of horror movies that just think, ooh, scares, that should be the only thing. No, tension is a big thing in a horror film for me, and I'll say if this one does a good job, but I'll tell you right now, I didn't want to see these characters die at all. Now, if you do or not, I don't know, I ain't gonna tell you, but, you know, I really didn't want anybody to get hurt, especially, well, not especially, but also the family. I really like the family. I like the dynamic. There's 5 daughters and 2, of course, husband and wife. But they do a good job of balancing the characters out for you to care for each one of them, and I love that. Also, I love that they didn't do some of the typical things like, oh, one character's reluctant because they don't want to go to this new house and she's a bitch the entire friggin' movie. No, they don't do that. They actually hint at it at first, but then they pretty much throw it away, and I'm like, good. I want these characters to be likable. I don't want a character just run off because she hates her dad or something because we had to move out to here and hate everybody. Thank God I didn't do that. I think the acting for the most part, well, actually no, all around is fantastic. All the characters are great, and I even think this movie is extremely well written. There's actually parts here and there where I was like, wow, that's some good-ass dialogue. Now, at times it can get pretty cheesy, but for the most part, the acting, the writing, the story itself, it moves, and I love it. I really do. I really love the characters here, so I love the story. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's generic, sure, but the characters is what really makes it. The question is the movie scary? Yes, it is very scary. Now, do not go into this film expecting jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, just so many jump scares. Do not expect that. do not expect it to be an onslaught of scares. I would say I was scared about 6 times in this film, which is pretty good. If I'm genuinely scared, then I'm like, you know what? I don't care if there's 2 scares. If it was genuine, then I would give this movie credit. This one had 6 of them, and I was very, very scared at times. I was like, ooh, what's going on? And it did a damn good job. But not only that, like I said before, the tension is what really sold this as a horror film, because this should have been called a horror/thriller film, not a horror, mystery, suspense, what's it, supernatural, whatever the hell. It should have been a thriller too, because there's times where I'm like, oh my god, is this character gonna die? What's gonna happen? James Wan, you always screw with me, man. Something bad's gonna happen. And does it happen? Maybe, maybe not. But it definitely is tense, and I love that. I also love the camera work here. The camera is always moving. There are scenes where characters are doing separate things, and besides jump cutting, he would actually, like, alright, one character's upstairs running to look for someone. Alright, then the camera will move back and go downstairs, and now this person's doing something else. And he did that a couple times, and that's amazing camera work. Also, the cinematography is pretty much the same thing, but it's great. Also, what was the other thing? Oh, sound design. The sound design here is fantastic. There's a scene that wouldn't be scary if they didn't do a damn good job with the sound design. It's a part where just a bunch of picture frames are falling down, but somehow, someway, they make that sound so creepy and so unsettling. I'm like, oh, I don't take those off. Just don't put them back up. I don't want that happening again. It's a creepy sound, and there's plenty of really cool little audio cues. And whenever there's a jump scare, it doesn't do the really loud noise. I mean, it's loud, but it's not like, ooh, that's why you're scared. No, you're scared because the freaking face is in your face and it's creepy and ooh. And I just love the sound design. I love the scares that happen in this film. Sure, there's a couple that are kind of cheap, like pop-up scares, but they are so executed nicely. There's so much tension into those scenes where it's like, oh, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Here it is. It's a slow burn movie too, I should say, because at first there's not too many scares, but then it gets really into it later on. So, ooh boy, that was a lot of stuff to say. So overall, I think the acting is fantastic here. Everybody did a damn good job, which I was very surprised at. All 5 of the daughters did a damn good job here. Now, a couple of them you've seen before in other films, but there's a couple I never really saw in other films before, so they did a great job, and everybody else did a damn good job too. The characters are really likable, and it's a very scary film. It's very tense, and I loved it. I really did. I don't know why it was rated R though, but you know, whatever. That doesn't matter. There's not too many real big bloody scenes or anything. There's a couple parts where you see people hanging, but that's about it. So anyway, I will give this movie, I will reward it a 36 out of 40. I think it's a fantastic horror film. Definitely the best of this year, and I don't know if any other one could top it. Who knows? Maybe. So maybe Insidious 2 will be good. Who knows? I love the first one, so who knows? So anyway, there you go. There is my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely go check this film out tomorrow when it comes out. Thank you, and goodbye.